Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amanda. I am a 36-year-old mom to a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I make working mom content here on YouTube. I have a typical 9-to-5 job. I'm a marketing manager and I work from home. And so today I am sharing with you part 2 of my working mom Q&A. If you haven't watched part 1, I will put a link to it at the end of this video. Today I'm going to be talking about a lot of really great topics: motivation, how do I get up early, how do I manage my time and also make time for self-care, what does my cleaning routine look like, giving you guys some mom tips on getting your kids to go to sleep, how I did it, potty training. I'll also talk about whether or not I would ever want to be a stay-at-home mom, a lot of fun things. So please stay tuned and let's get right into the video. So I got a lot of questions about how do you stay motivated and kind of like how do you find time to do everything. I think that this is a difficult one in terms of like giving advice, because I feel like it's very personal and I feel like what works for somebody might not work for somebody else. And I find that a routine and staying on track with a schedule every day is what keeps the motivation going and keeps that ball rolling, so I don't feel like I get into a slump very much. Because if I keep my day the same as much as I can, then I know what to expect and I know, like, it's just comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like with kids, this is key. Like, my kids are on such a routine. I thrive on a routine, and that's why I feel like translates into how my kid, daily schedules are. And like, Chase knows every single day when he gets up what to expect, and he'll ask me, when I wake up, I'm gonna do this, are we gonna do this, I'm gonna brush my teeth, and then I'm gonna go downstairs, and then I'm gonna eat breakfast, and then I'm gonna watch Peppa Pig, and then I'm gonna get dressed, and then I'm gonna go to school. And like, they just know what their routine is, and I feel like it provides them just structure and security, and it just keeps the house in a nice flow and not chaotic. And I have so much going on. All of y'all have so much going on that like I can't afford to have a chaotic house on top of everything else that's going on. So for me, I stay motivated. The thing that makes me the most motivated is going to bed early and ensuring that I wake up early. So when I wake up at 5 a.m. and I put my workout clothes on and I do a workout, and I come downstairs afterwards, take a shower, do my makeup, get ready for the day, make my cold brew, sit on the couch for 30 minutes and read my book, that makes me motivated for the rest of the day, because I feel so accomplished by the time that 7 a.m. hits. Like, I've gotten up early, I'm proud of myself. I got something done for myself. I love working out. Working out is like a therapy for me. It's just, it truly, like, when I don't work out, even for 3 days in a row, I'm off. I feel weird. I feel out of sorts. I don't feel like myself. It calms me down. It keeps my hormones balanced, I think. Endorphins, and I feel like, my body is toned. I feel strong. I use the weights. That's really motivating and very therapeutic for me. And so getting that done, and then also having that quiet time in the morning to myself before my kids get up to drink my coffee and read my book, other things that really are just self-care stuff for me, putting makeup on, other things like that. That is what keeps me motivated throughout the day. And then it's just kind of, it becomes habit. I was talking about having a routine, and I think there was another question about how do you plan your day and how do you like fit everything in, and do I use a planner? So I feel like going back to the routine thing, I don't use a planner at all. I use like the notes app on my phone to remember things that I need to do that are outside of like my work. So in my work, I use Microsoft OneNote, I think it is. And that's how I keep myself in check. I just make like a to-do list, and with the checkbox, and I check all the things off that I need to do. So that's how I keep on task at work. And then like having deadlines and, doing high importance and scheduling reminders for things in my Outlook. That's how I stay on track at work. But I don't have a planner that's outside work, because it's too much for me. I can't have like a work planner and then like a personal planner. That stresses me out. So going back to the routine thing, I know outside of work, like what things I need to get done throughout my week, like my cleaning routine. It's the same. And the fact that it's the same and I do the same thing every week allows me to keep things clean and decluttered and however organized, because I do the same things every week. So every single week, on Mondays usually, I vacuum my floors and I mop my floors. I clean each of my bathrooms 1 time a week. So all of those things I just know I have to do. I do my kids' laundry and not my laundry. I do my kids' laundry once a week, sometimes 2 times a week. I do my laundry maybe like once every couple weeks. Pete does his own laundry. So I just know all the things. And then, you know, just the maintenance around your house. I typically Swiffer a couple times, Swiffer my floors. I dust once a week, usually if I have time. Dusting is not like a thing that I hold myself to the fire on. Cleaning up the kitchen after every single meal. All those things, like, just I just know that I have to do them. They stay the same every single week. Grocery shopping, have to do that. Pete usually does the grocery shopping, which is great, or I'll just run to the store like on my lunch hour if I need to. But every week is pretty much the same, the stuff I need to get done. So that's how I kind of structure it. And then, you know, I don't feel like my house is dirty because I clean it every week. So it's kind of like cleaning a clean house. I don't ever let things sit so long so that like I feel like I have to do this deep clean, and then once a quarter we usually get like a maid service to come in and do like a deep clean to the house. Okay, I have frustration over a messy house. It kills me. I can't keep up and everyone has a cleaner. Yeah, this is kind of like goes along with what I was just talking about. I feel like if you build in a daily like or a weekly cleaning routine, that's what's helped me the most, is knowing that every single week I am going to find the time to mop and, you know, vacuum my floors, clean my bathrooms, do the laundry, blah blah blah. I feel like that's what's helped me just not get frustrated with the messy house, because I make time for it. And I know that this isn't doable for everybody. I work from home, so it gives me a really nice advantage. I have a quiet house most of the day and I can sneak in breaks between work to do these things. I think it would be a lot harder if I was like going into an office and not having that time because I'm not working at home to fit this stuff in. And then I guess like I would do all of that stuff on the weekend, and I guess that could be like very stressful too, because you want to spend time with your family and stuff. But kind of what I've done as a work from home mom is do all of those tasks, split them up, chunk them up into little pieces, get them done throughout the week so they're not overwhelming. And then on the weekend, I don't clean and I don't do housework really, and I enjoy my kids and my family. How do you find time for personal care? I feel like that's a really important one for busy moms. And for me, I find time by getting up early. So my personal care stuff is in the morning, and I sacrifice staying up late and sitting in front of the TV and scrolling through my phone so that at night, so that I can get up early in the morning and put myself in a good spot and do things for myself. Waking up early is not for everyone. And I got another question about like, I just can't get motivated to get up early and work out. And to that, I would say that everybody is different. Some people are just not morning people. And I think that if working out is a priority, then you just have to figure out when you've got the time in the day to make it happen and to do it. And when can it fit into your day where can become a habit. The only time for me, honestly, is in the morning, because I can't do it during the day because I'm working. And then when my kids get home, I am fully like committed to them for that 3 hours. And then once they're in bed, it's like 8 o'clock. And the last thing I want to do is work out. So I would say, depending on your schedule, just like figuring out a time that works most days out of the week and commit to that. It doesn't have to be first thing in the morning if that's not something that, you know, feels good to you. I would say don't do anything that doesn't feel right for you. I get a question about like some mom tips, sleep training, potty training, getting rid of passies and things like that. So I will say, in terms of sleep training, I feel like this is a very touchy subject because it is so personal. I sleep trained both of my kids when they were 4 months old. with like the doctor saying, okay, you can do this. So I did the cry it out method, which if you do or don't know, it's you put your child to bed and you create, you know, your little like going to bed routine, nighttime routine, or whatever, nap time routine. And then you put your child to sleep and then you leave and you close the door and then you don't go back in and you let the kid cry it out and self-soothe. And I know that I have friends and I know people that could not do that. They could not handle listening to their child crying for 20 minutes or something like that. And I totally understand. It's very, very difficult. But I did it with both of my kids. Honestly, some of it was very selfish because at 4 months old, I am so sleep deprived that for me to function and be a good mom, I need my sleep. And so, you know, and kids need their sleep too. And if they don't know how to fall asleep, like you have to kind of help them along. So honestly, whole cry it out method really worked. And it really wasn't as bad as like some experiences that, you know, you can Google about. My kids caught on so quick. The first night, it literally took 2 nights. You know, the first night they will get put down and they would cry for, you know, like not a long time, 20, 25 minutes. Obviously, if it was like going on to like 30 or 40 minutes, I would go back in there. But the concept is you put them down, you leave, you close the door, and you do not go back in until they, you know, are awake again, you know, after their nap. By like the 2nd or 3rd night, I would put them down and they would go right to sleep. They wouldn't even cry. And it was a lifesaver. And also it really depends on your kid. Mine, for whatever reason, didn't have an issue with it and they took to it really well, and that was it. So like after 4 months old, I've never had any sleep issues with my kids. They go to bed at the same time and they wake up at the same time every single day. Now that Chase is older, he obviously is in a bed that he can get out of, and we got this little Hippo alarm clock that I've talked about before that we set to 7 a.m. and when the light turns green, he knows he can come out of his bed and come downstairs. So that like really helps me to get my time in the morning. And then Quinn, she's just a really good sleeper too. She's, you know, sometimes she gets up early, 6 or 6:15, and she's in there, you know, just talking to herself, but she'll usually go back to sleep or just keep herself busy until about 7 when Chase gets up. So I think it's very personal with sleep training. That's what worked for us, but you know, it's not a one size fits all situation. Potty training, I'm gonna start trying to potty train Quinn pretty soon, probably when she gets a little bit closer to 3. But with Chase, my friend gave me this book, like Potty Train in 72 Hours or something, and it's basically, you know, take a long weekend and throw the diapers away, get excited about putting on the underwear and like you're a big boy or girl, and and then, you know, you let the child kind of tell you when they have to go to the bathroom. So that was helpful when we were potty training Chase, is just not being like, do you have to go to the bathroom? Do you have to go potty? Do you have to go potty? Asking him every 5 minutes. It's tell me when you need to go potty, and then wait like a half an hour and then see if he says anything. If not, let him be. And you know, if he has an accident, you say, oh, take them right to the bathroom and we use the potty. We don't go potty in our underwear, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Read the book if you're interested in that. That worked with Chase, but we waited until he was like literally almost 3. I tried to potty train Quinn a few months back, like before she was 2.5, and it just didn't work. So I think the kid also has to be at like that point where like they understand their body and they understand the concept, and not just showing interest. I think there's a lot of like, oh, well, they're interested in the potty. Well, yeah, all kids are interested in a potty. Are they really mentally there? Do they understand their body enough to get it? So whatever, it's potty training, all these mom tips, things and stuff. I feel like you can Google yourself into an oblivion and find just a million things, and you just gotta like try stuff out and see what works for you and your children. Okay, so the mornings that I don't work out, do you still wake up at 5? What do you do at that time? So the mornings that I don't work out, I usually don't wake up at 5. I usually wake up between 6 and 6:15. And on those days, I usually just do everything the same except for workout. So I'll get up, I'll get dressed, I'll make my cold brew, I'll sit on the couch and I'll read my book. So on the weekends, me and Pete will trade off. One day I'll sleep in and the other day he'll sleep in, and whoever's not sleeping in will get up with the kids. And usually on the weekends, I sleep in until like 7. So, and then sometimes during the week, depending on how tired I am, I will also sleep in until 7. And then the morning gets a little chaotic because I have to juggle their morning routine and also get myself ready. So I try to avoid that and get up like at least a half an hour before my kids get up. Usually it's around 6:15. How do you wake up so early? So go check out my Q&A that I posted before this. I talk a lot about this book, Atomic Habits, that I read almost about a year ago that really jump-started me into getting up early. And so from that book, it was basically for me just creating a new habit, and those take like a month or more to actually become a habit. So you have to do it over and over and over again until it becomes habitual. So that's kind of how it worked for me. I was really bad at getting up early. My husband said that it was like the biggest thing that he did not like about me is that I slept in too much and I needed my sleep and all of that. So I was like, I have to change this. My mornings are getting chaotic. They're getting out of control. I feel just like everything is swirling. And so I just made a new routine. I like held myself for a week to getting up at 4:30 in the morning. It was really challenging, but then once you do it and once you start doing things different than you did before, it becomes easier as you go along. What brand of sausage do you use for your brunch wrap? I'm pretty sure it's Jimmy Dean. Oh, this is a good one. Do you ever get mom guilt for working? Yes, I get mom guilt all the time for working, but I feel like it's one of those fleeting things where I'll feel really bad in a situation, especially the ones where like I'm dropping my kids off. It's usually Quinn and she will cry. That happened today actually. And I feel horrible mom guilt when I drop Quinn off, or Chase, he doesn't really cry, but Quinn mostly, drop her off and she starts crying and she doesn't want to go to school. But I just remind myself that this is, you know, I'm working to provide for my family, and she's at a really great school. She's learning, she loves it. Everything is really good. So, you know, I feel like mom guilt is unavoidable, but you know, it's there. Do you ever feel like you would want to stop working and be a stay-at-home mom? I used to want to be a stay-at-home mom when my kids were really young, like when they were infants. And I feel like that's super natural because they're so helpless and you know, you are everything to them. But as they got older and became more independent, it quickly shifted for me. I don't think that I could be a stay-at-home mom. I think it would be cool to try it out and do it like in a concentrated amount of time, but I think my personality molds more with being a working mom. What I will say is I would love to be a working mom doing what I love. Like I would love to not have to work my 9-to-5 job. I would love to be doing YouTube full time. I just think that being a stay-at-home mom, I feel like moms that are really good stay-at-home moms are very, very good at like activities and teach their kids and do stuff like that. I am much more like that. Just doesn't do it for me. I really thrive and I feel such a sense of worth going to a job, having responsibilities, business responsibilities, working with adults all day, being held accountable, and making money, to be honest. We've created this lifestyle where I would really have to sacrifice a lot of the things that bring me joy if I were a stay-at-home mom. And we couldn't live the way that we do now. I mean, right now it's kind of like I want it, I got it type of mentality. I don't think twice before I buy something on Amazon. I don't go to the grocery store and nickel and dime. Like I pick up what I need, I put it in my basket and I check out, you know? We've created this lifestyle that I really love, and it really works with my family. And I think that if you asked me a couple years ago if I wanted to be a full-time stay-at-home mom, I would say yes. Me and Pete had many conversations where I was just bawling my eyes out with this little infant, being like, I just wanna be at home with my little baby. Like, I don't wanna put them in daycare. I don't wanna go to my stupid 9-to-5 corporate job. I don't. So, but I think now, knowing what I know and moving on from that infant stage, knowing that my kids are learning so much at daycare, things that I could never teach them. Another thing about daycare, the socialization, it would drive me insane to be at home and having to like create a schedule, like a curriculum for them and teach them. It's not my strength. I am happy to send them off to daycare. They'll learn and they'll be with other kids and interact. And I think it's good for them to get out of the house, to go do stuff, to experience more than I could provide at home. And that's just my personal opinion, not knocking stay-at-home moms whatsoever. It's just, I don't think that I ever would. I just don't think I would. And at this point, I think I would take any job because I really like making money and I really like working. So that is my answer to that one. Okay, I think I covered most of your questions. I got a couple questions. How do you make your cold brew? I have a link to that in the description box of all of my videos, how I make my cold brew. Another question was about, do you make a video on your exercise routine? I just posted that, I think like a week or two ago. So go check that out. It's on my channel. I go through an entire week of my workouts. I link all my workouts and kind of take you through, you know, what I do. So there's that. Otherwise, I thank y'all so much for submitting these questions. It's really fun to kind of talk to you guys and do like a sit down Q&A. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make this like a monthly thing. I would love to kind of pick your brains, see what you're most interested in knowing, and you know, the stuff that kind of will also give me inspiration for different videos that I can make. But this was really nice. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful and gave you kind of like my perspective on stuff, how I do stuff, what works for me and like what doesn't, and I hope that it's useful to you all. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.